Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to NHL Draft Pros, the new live show, The Draft Board, with my co-host, Linc from New Wave Hockey. How's it going, Linc?
It's fantastic. I'm really excited to be on this show. I'm really excited to be working with you, Mark. I mean, when you asked me to jump on the opportunity and join this biweekly talking of prospects, I mean, I couldn't say no. So I'm really excited to be here, and I just can't wait to start talking about
Oh,
prospects.
you
Let's
know
do it.
what, Linc? Listen, you have to check out Linc's YouTube channel, New Wave Hockey. I'm always on there watching it, and so I saw him, and I said, "Listen, I got to get together with this guy. He's a good kid." And our first episode, New Year's Eve. So you know what that means. We got Canada and the US playing. So yes, I'm Canadian, Linc's an American. So we're going to have a little disagreement. We're going to talk about the
Border
World
War.
Juniors in our next episode. But today we are going to be doing our top 16 for the upcoming NHL draft. Of course, there's the little banner there. So yeah, Linc's going to go through his top 16. I'm going to go through my top 16. And we're going to see if we got some agreements or disagreements, depending on, who we're talking about. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, bud?
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited. Let's get right into it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to pop up Linc's first because he's got a bunch of videos that he wants to show. So check this out. This is Linc's top 16 right now. So we're going to start at the top. And we are going to do number one for you there, Linc. We got Mr. James Higgins.
Exactly. James Higgins has been just incredible all season. And though I've gone back and forth between him being the first overall pick and whether he's deserved it or not, he's really showing why he is just solidifying that number one selection for him in this World Juniors. He's been absolutely incredible, driving all the play. And there are so many reasons why he has all the traits to go number one. I mean, you love to see the skating. He's so smooth. He's so tight with it. But my favorite thing that I love to see every single time that he steps on the ice, he controls and dictates play with the passing vision. Here's actually a play of him and his other trait, the shot in overtime. He can just end games like this. Pow.
Boom,
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I watched that game live. That was so fun.
That was a nice one.
I know. And again, he really can just take control of games, take over games. He makes people look silly. I mean, we've been watching a lot of clips throughout the World Juniors. We've been watching him play throughout the World Juniors. He just makes these correct decisions. And here's another one during the Germany game. Cuts down the middle of the ice right here. No look pass. Gabe Perreault puts it in the back of the net. Again, these are the types of play you're looking for from a number one overall pick. Someone who can build around the team that you have, or someone that you can build around, someone that you can have distribute play, someone that you can create scoring chances with. And James Higgins has done all of that. Again, the only issues that he's had is adapting to the NCAA style of game. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. He wasn't used to it. He played a very dominant style of the USN TDP where he was faster, stronger, was more skilled than anyone else that he was playing against. And now he's had to combat it, and he has done much better with it. So this is him attacking a defenseman and getting a shot off. Again, he doesn't score here, but you see the plays. He's playing much differently than he did at the program. He is much more of an aggressive player, much more of a two-way player, but the offense, it's really held up, and it's just been absolutely incredible. And that's why I think he should be going first overall. I mean, come on. God love the kid. Give us another first overall pick.
That's going to be our first disagreement, first episode, first person we're talking about, and we already disagree on one. Listen, I love James Higgins. I watched him at the NTDP. I'm right across from Plymouth, so I hit a lot of those games last year. He was unreal. And this year, like you said, struggled a little bit to start off the college season, but he's starting to pick up. The last few games, he's been looking really good. And the thing with James Higgins that I like a lot, and I'll talk about where I have him ranked, but he's got these little tendencies, I'm always looking at high hockey IQ players. I find they do these little short passes that no one can kind of see coming around, and he does that. And I love everything about it. And, good little worker too. He's got some flow to his game. But my number one, I got to go with the Canadian from Erie, and that is Matthew Schaefer, of course. And yeah, listen, he's another one that I absolutely love. And, unfortunately got hurt there last game for Canada, broken collarbone. But the first game, he was looking unreal. And you got to remember, he's one of the youngest guys in the draft, born in September 5th, I think. So he's 10 days away from being in the 2026 draft. And for him to come in and play on Team Canada and basically, he was one of the most dominant, if not the dominant D on that team. And so, you know what, when you got players like that, and he's doing those kinds of things. So here, I'm going to show you a little clip of Matthew Schaefer, and this is what he does. He can wheel. The kid can flat out fly. Look at that. It doesn't even look like he's trying. And then look at that little stutter step to get into that shot and score. Come on, Linc. Come on, Linc.
It's ridiculous. It's unmatched.
You got to give him some props, Linc. Come on now.
I've given him my props. He's in my top 3, and I love him to death. He's a great guy, and you're right. He was definitely the best player on Team Canada at the World Juniors for sure until he got injured. But I will say that with the preface that Parekh and Yakimchuk weren't there. I can't assess them because I didn't see them side by side. But no, he's having a great year. I really don't have it.
I got to see Parekh a lot too, and I mean, you got again. The offensive upside's there. He's a year older. And so, you know, we're not going to talk about Team Canada and the selection process because I've seen a lot of videos. There's, anyways, we're not going to get into that.
We'll get there.
We'll talk about that after Canada and US play tonight on our next episode. But so I got James Hagen's number 2. And I know that you have Michael Misa number 2 now, another player that I get to see a lot because my good buddy, his kid plays on that team. So I watched Saginaw a lot. And I was actually at the Memorial Cup when they won, went down on the ice with the team after. So yeah. And Michael Misa, yeah, he's got some skills. So let's talk about him there, Linc.
So far, there was a point where I didn't have James Hagens as my number 1 overall pick. I know, crazy to think. I'm a big American fan. I loved what he did at the USNTDP. He was my number 1 coming into the year. But for a little bit, there was a point in time where I had somebody else as the first overall pick, and that somebody else was Michael Misa. He was playing such a dominant style in the OHL, and he still is. 2 points per game. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. If he keeps it up, he's going to be hitting 130 points in the OHL.
Oh, yeah.
Unreal. That's something we haven't seen in forever.
Yeah.
Michael Misa, I often describe him as having a perfect game. I'm not saying that he is a perfect player, but he has a perfect style of game where he is just activated and playing really well at a high level in every area of the ice. I really think he's a fantastic player that can slot in every part of your lineup, and he's one of the biggest snubs off of that U Canada roster right here. Oh, sorry, I didn't use those.
Yeah, here's a clip.
There you go. Here's a clip here. So passes back to the defenseman, starts the transition, gets it going, but he gets in front of that shot or that breakout, and he scores right there.
Oh, that's
very highly intelligent. Got a quick shot too. He's perfectly positioned in a lot of scenarios, and he really just. You can see the intelligence every time he plays. I'm really just blown away by what he can do and what he's been able to do. His play away from the puck is also fantastic. His play with the puck, dominant.
And he's been more physical this year, I noticed.
Exactly, too. I don't know if this clip shows that.
This is the one. This is my clip. I kind of showed him.
Yeah, there you go.
Back door, but you have another clip right here. We're going to show yours. Oh, let me hide that one, and then we're going to add yours right here.
So what do you got here? He's on the board along there, and he just no looks it right to the defenseman, and he's wide open. He draws 3 guys to him on that clip there, and then here we go. I love this because this is on a penalty kill, and he beats 3 guys. He's working along the boards here, working along, and he gets the goal. It's unreal. I have not seen this sort of aggression and play in the and this like effort in the OHL in a long time. That he is an absolute workhorse. He makes things just click for Saginaw, and he is just taking things to another level. He was in a reserve role the last 2 years with Saginaw, and this year he's been asked to step up, and he 100% has. And I know it's tight. It's a razor thin margin between him and Schaefer, but I do have him above Schaefer for those reasons.
Okay. So you know what? Well, like I said, I got Schaefer 1, Hagens 2, Misa 3, and you know, you pretty much covered everything on Misa. I love his tenacity, his play away from the puck too. He's improved that every year. You know what? So I've been watching him since he was, you know, the exceptional status. You know, basically 3 seasons ago. And he has definitely improved every season, and that's exactly what you want, right? In a top prospect, you want progression, and I always said that. You know, if a kid has a great season last year and is D-1, but he doesn't progress as well this year, then there's questions in that, right? But Misa has done it. And a good example of that where they don't progress, Ivan Ryabkin. Like last year's D-1 season in NHL was unreal. Like, one of the best ever. And then this year just fallen flat. Now, today I read on Twitter that he might be coming to
he is coming. It's
Muskegon.
confirmed. It's confirmed.
It is. Hey, wow. So yeah. So that, you know what? Just like Radim Murtka came to Seattle, I thought that was, going to the North American, not playing, against men and stuff like that. It kind of helped him out. He's got like 7 points in 9 games as a defenseman, 6'6".
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about him in a bit though. So our top 3 are pretty much the same. And then our 4th overall is the same as well. You have Porter Martone at number 4, and I do as well. So let's talk about the big power forward from Brampton.
Yeah, I mean, what's there else to say? Porter Martone's a fantastic player. He's one of my favorites in terms of like who I want my favorite team, the Flyers, to grab come draft day.
I'm a Flyers fan too. We're both Flyers fans. I'm Canadian, but I'm a diehard Flyers fan too. Yes. So we got that in common, Linc. So you know what?
I know.
We agree on that at least. All right.
Yeah, some agreement on this podcast at least. Gotta love it. But Martone, he's very active in every single zone. And I had him in my number 2 spot for a lot of last year and this year too. And it's changed recently just because he hasn't progressed. The traits are all there. The scoring, the production, all there. I think he's scoring at a higher clip than Misa is at the moment. I think he's like 2.06 per game, and Misa's 2.03.
Yeah, he was a little ahead of Misa in terms of points per game. But yeah, here let's show a clip. I know you got some clips loaded here, so go ahead and tell us what's going on here.
Here's a zone entrance by him again. Walks it right around, brings 3 guys to him, and then he just has the vision to pass it off. Everyone was talking about how much of a skill guy he was, how much of a great of a shot he has, and he does. But nobody really wanted to talk about how great of a distributor who is. And I think that is one of the hallmarks of his game and one of the reasons why he's been so solid this year. He has more assists than he does have goals, unlike Misa, who is 30-30 even in terms of goals and assists. Martone is just pure offense, all offense. What draws him back and what has kept him from the top 3 discussion for me in my opinion has just been the skating and the lack of defensive viability, because people were talking about this guy as like a Corey Perry guy. He was very aggressive, would get under your skin, and I haven't seen that much from him. I mean, he lost a fight to Michael Misa and for goodness sake. So hey, like how tough can you be? But no, I know that's not everything, but he's if anything, he's taken a bit of a step back, and especially with his 2 benchings at the World Juniors, I'm falling back on him.
Yeah, and I think that the World Juniors was going to be a big stage for 3 of the 4 top players, and I said that, and I've said that right off the hop. I said, listen, whoever comes out of the World Juniors with a really good showing will probably climb up the rankings in that 4 spot there, the top 4. And like I said, I loved what Schaefer did. Hagens is playing unreal at the World Juniors, and unfortunately, Porter Martone, he's dropping a little bit. And I've had Porter Martone at 4 for a while. He's got some, tendencies away from the puck, I guess you could say. In terms of his hands, though, like the guy can stick handle out of a phone booth. Like he's unreal. I got a clip of him here, so I'm going to show you this one. I love this toe drag release. Look at this. Boom. Like that is, yeah, you got to have some soft hands. And, being, 6'3" and a big kid, and just look at this, just freezes the D and just rifles it upstairs. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I like about his game. But like you said, I think that, the skating is problematic, and inconsistencies, I think, sometimes away from the puck. But, definitely, potential for, depending on what a team needs, if there's, set with a, centerman or D or whatever, how, do you pass up a big winger like him? That's the question, right?
It's a hard thing to talk about. And one thing I wanted to just like quickly inject into this discussion, if you'd indulge me, I think he's a prime candidate to maybe make a move to the NCAA next season because of just how much he would benefit from it, I think. But again, he's been not linked to anything, not any discussions, but he's someone that's been on my mind. It's like, what if he went to Michigan? He would look so good there, I think. That's just my opinion.
You know what? The thing with like the NCAA and their training regimen is unreal, right? I mean, you could work on his skating like every day and just, flourish, I guess you could say. There hasn't been too much news about him. Misa, they're talking about going NCAA, but You haven't heard anything about Porter Martone yet. I don't know. That's
Which
going to
is
be one of
surprising to me. It's
Yeah.
surprising.
Absolutely.
So-
All right, let's keep on rolling here. So now you got Roger McQueen at number 5. Whoa. Let's talk about big Roger McQueen.
So yeah, this is where we deviate just a little bit from our
Yep.
lists. Roger McQueen was someone I was super, super high on to begin the year. Again, he's always hovered around that first overall pick discussion, but he wasn't really there. He wasn't someone that was like really taken seriously. And then he popped off. 4-goal game, his first game.
First game.
One
Yeah.
of them was an empty net. I will give him that.
Yeah.
But he looked really I think he looked incredible. Other people were kind of downplaying some of what he did. I think he had like 2 or 3 bad games. I watched all 11. It's not 11. All
penalty kill.
These are not muted.
Oh, I can mute it here.
Yeah, I gotcha. So
Okay.
I watched all 8 of his games going into this during this year. Watch this pass here. I think love this. Finds him. He's just really, really smart with the puck, and his hand, like you're gonna see his hands here. His stick handling and skating for 6'5", 190. Yeah. And his shot too. I can't believe he found that angle. I'm blown away by the highlights. I've seen the rest of his game, and he does fall short of the top 4. He's obviously has maybe the most potential because of his size and his skating and what he can do with his hands, but he got injured. So we don't really have the sample size to really see it. And that's why I've been kind of holding space for McQueen. I've been saying
therein lies the problem, is the sample space. And so, like, if you look at me, I got him at number 7. We'll talk about that later. I got Caleb Desnoyers at number 5 because I just love Caleb Desnoyers. But no, you know what? Listen, as the last ranking I had McQueen at 5, and then sample size, right? And I mean, you got some players will start off on fire, but then they kind of dip a little bit, and that's the progression that you want to see through the season. So he popped off really good, big kid, nice hands, good hockey IQ. Yeah, sample size. That's the only thing that's drawing me back right now. And the thing is that I got Caleb Desnoyers. I'll show you a clip right here. He's a big kid, 6'2", can skate, got some hands. Like, look at that little goal right there. So, and what he did at the CHL USA prospect game, I thought he was really good on that top line. And, he's got that maturity to his game and plays a 200-foot game too. So, I popped him up a little bit higher than some of the other players, but that's just personal preference, right? And I mean, I've seen his rankings, out of the top 10, which is, I don't understand how that can happen. But
it's ridiculous. Yeah.
I like him at 5 right now. I mean, you know what? This is one of those drafts where it's going to change. It changes daily for me, actually. Like, every time I'm doing my rankings, like when I go back to, put it on clips, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm going to move those 2. And, with the exception of the top 4, and even the top 4, you can move them around. And then after that, there's that next tier that you can move around. Like it's all over the map. So yeah. So who do you got? Let me see. What do you got at number 6 here? So you got Victor Eklund.
At number 6, I have Mr. Victor Eklund. And again, I love Caleb Desnoyers, but I think there just is one big guy ahead of him, and it's Victor Eklund. And again, we don't know where I don't really know where McQueen's going to end up for me, when he's going to come back. But Victor Eklund, I think, is the best shot to fall into that number 5 position. He's just been excellent. Talk about World Juniors performances. Eklund has been so good for Sweden in these games. 4 points, and I think only 3 games so far. They play today, right? Correct?
They should, yeah.
Yeah, so 4 points in 3 games, 2 of them goals. He's on that top power play unit for Sweden this year, and he's forced his way onto it. There are so many things that I love about Victor Eklund's game, and he's just forced his way into this discussion for me. And I have nothing but applause for him. I love the fact how he's playing in the Allsvenskan. He's got incredible vision, but his work ethic is what I love to talk about all the time. Let me show the clips real quick. If you could
roll the clips, let's see it.
Let's see. I don't know if I can put them up.
All right, here, I'll do it.
There you go. So, that was just I guess I misses the pass there, but yeah, like, so he finds players in space, and it's just what a magician does. Look at the speed here. Here you go.
Oh, this
hits
one,
the guy, hits the guy on the wall.
Takes the guy out along the wall.
Exactly.
And then opens up space for him, and he buries one. So let's watch that again. You're going to see. So he's right at the bottom there.
Yeah,
Let's
he's going to be
again. So yeah, he's right at the bottom, red line right now, blue line right now, and then he hits this guy. So
Boom.
that's Eklund right there. And look, he just tosses the guy away. Now he's got a free shot at the net. So yeah, that's a nice clip
just
right there.
creates
I
chances
use
for
that clip
himself.
too, actually. That kind of defines his game, right?
I think the last clip I have defines this game the most. Let's see, just the
This
high
one?
effort one. Oh yeah. So this is him just carrying the puck into the zone, shoots, tries to hit it back, falls down, works along the play, just gets in the middle of there, and then he just moves to the front of the net and he just establishes a presence
And
and
he gets
tips
a
it into
tip.
the. I He works so much, and I'm a sucker for work ethic. I love what he does everywhere, and what he's been doing along the boards. He's been creating chances. I think the one goal he had or not the goal, the one most recent assist he's had on the power play where he fed it to Tom Wielander. He created that chance out of just fighting along the boards, and he's been doing that all year for the Allsvenskan, and I can't see anybody else really climbing into that top 5 position unless his name is Victor Eklund. He's been fantastic.
See,
So
so yeah, I got Frondell ahead of Eklund. Now I know you. I see that you have. Where do you got Frondell here? You got
got
him
number
at
8.
8. Okay, so that's fine. I mean, it's, and again, this is all personal preference. It's going to probably change, here or there. But the thing with Frondell is that U19 challenge, you got to see that he has that potential. And again, he's so Eklund is an 06 and Frondell's an 07. And I take that into account. And I know that some people probably, don't as much, but I do. I always take Frondell, their age into account. That's one of those things that I don't know. I'm just into that. And so I'll show you a clip of Frondell in a second here. But yeah, he's got good work ethic. He's a big kid. The thing for me with Eklund is, what's his offensive upside? What's his ceiling?
I think it's pretty high. I'm not
You
gonna lie
think
to
it's
you.
pretty high, eh? See,
I
I look at this one
but
timer. That's Frondell
Frondell
one
has a
timer.
high ceiling too. And like again, he put it on display at the World Junior A Challenge. He didn't score as much as say guys like I think it was Klingsell and East Wozniak outscored him, but
Yeah.
he showed that he was back after having a pretty lousy and injury riddled like first half. He potential wise, Frondell really should be up there in a discussion with the top 4 because
Oh,
he has the tools to make things happen, and his shot is, I think, otherworldly to anyone else in the top 10. It's so good.
yeah. And you know what? I think that I've seen a few rankings where he's, high and low. And like I said, I think it's just this draft. This draft is all over the map in terms of rankings, and it's going to be a fun draft. I mean, there's going to be a lot of discussion, and come the real NHL draft, I think there's going to be a few surprises probably, and we're gonna hear some stuff about wow, I can't believe that kid went there. Like the big surprise last year, Seneca going 3rd overall, that was a big surprise. So I think that yeah, I think we're gonna have the same thing in this draft. But anyways, let's move on here because I see that. So we covered Eklund, we covered Desnoyers, Frondell. Malcolm Spence is the next one on your list here.
Yeah, let me pull up some clips from him. I'm becoming more and more of a Malcolm Spence fan every single time that I watch the tape. I mean, you look at what he's been doing, and you can never deny the talent that's there on him. Playing for Erie this year, he's just been spectacular, in my opinion. I think he's been really solid. The points have not been they haven't been stacking like his contemporaries and like Misa or Porter Martone, but I don't think he's competing with them necessarily.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the clips here because he does a lot of work. And he shows a lot of that effort, but he shows it in spurts. I will agree that one of the things that draws him back is, again, he needs to show more compete. He needs to not be floating as much, but he has as much talent as anybody outside of the top 4, and he really shows it every time he's on the ice. Let me pull up the clips real quick here.
I got
Your help.
Oh,
Let's
is this
go.
Jackson Smith? No, this is him. Yeah.
There you go. So here we go. He's going to start it here.
He's at the top there.
He's at the top. This is going to go right here. Dangle around, shot, boom.
Yeah.
And only he can do that. He plays with such a passion that you gotta love here. It's
Who's this? Malcolm. So
so
let's do this one.
this is Schaefer's the 3-on-3 in overtime. And then it's Spence right there. He's gonna do it all by himself right here.
He's gonna say, "All right, let's do
Oh
it."
yeah. Yep. Bar down.
Yeah,
One of the things that was a talking point for Spence is that he was much more of a performer for Canada rather than Erie last year, and I
yeah.
think that doesn't necessarily hurt him.
No,
This is a very passionate player. This is someone who plays with a lot of passion, a lot of grit, a lot of heart. He wears it on his sleeve, and it's something that I've taken notice of because he can take over games. But the problem is he takes over his games when he wants to. Again,
yeah,
it's a matter of effort for him. It's a matter of getting into it when your team needs it, and he does from time to time. But again, I want to see with more consistency. But again, I love a player. I love a player like
you
Spence. He's
like that
fantastic.
work, eh? So yeah, so you got so we basically have the same top 8 in different positions. And then I go with Logan Hensler at number 9. And I know he's been slipping a lot lately, but at the World Juniors, looking pretty good in my opinion. I like what he's been doing so far. Skating, that's the name of the game. And so again, bias. I think sometimes you get biases when you see players on the regular. And so I saw Logan Hensler a lot last year, playing with the NTDP, and I see the potential there, I guess you could say, right? He hasn't really put up the numbers in the NCAA, 7 points in like 17 games or something like that. But the skating's unreal. He's a big kid. He's got some physicality to his game. And I just think that the NHL, that's what so this is him, picks up the puck right here. You're going to see. So we see the skating, got a little move right there. And then he brings it into the zone. And yeah. So, like I said, Logan Hensler, I still have him pretty high. The offensive upside's not there, but I see him as a really good two-way D. And that's why I got him there, because those are valuable in the NHL. And he's right-handed D. Right-handed D, they go
Yeah,
big. Yeah.
they go hand in hand. I mean,
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
everyone's looking for a right-handed D these days. That's what everyone does. I have Logan Hensler outside of my top 16. He's actually
Oh,
my
you
number.
don't? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, he's number 20 for me. I think there are three defensemen roughly that are just a little bit better than him, have shown a
Yep.
little bit more this season. And this is coming from somebody who was a massive fan of Logan Hensler and Dakota Rayon Mullen in the USN TDP last year. I watched so much from those two. They played incredibly. I also think they both should have stayed another year at the program, in my opinion. But Hensler, he came out to a little bit of a slow offensive start. That's part of the name of his game. Is he was a really solid offensive guy. He was not only a setup man, but he drove play for the USN TDP. He was the best defenseman on that team last year, I
Yeah, I
think.
think he had like 32 points in 60 games or something like that, which
Yeah.
is respectable for a D, right?
Yeah, it's definitely hard to say when, like, again, EJ Emery and Cole Hudson were on that team, but
Yeah.
he was definitely challenging them every single night, and I was a huge fan of him. Him moving to college helps his defensive game out. He's definitely been way better at retrieval. He's been way better at a lot of the little things on defense, defending the rush, spatial awareness, and I've enjoyed it. I've really liked it. But again, I've had to come back on him because you're looking for the offense there. That's what people draft high. That's what people value more. And I think of the two college defensemen last year, Artyom Levshinov and Zeev Buyam, and they were playing at such a high, elevated level, scoring and being involved in the offense every single night. And he hasn't really been doing that. He's been kind of just fitting in, and that's what's been drawing him back for me. That's why he's fallen as much as he does. But hey, him slotting into that U.S. World Junior team, that works. And I love
Yeah.
what he's been doing.
Yeah.
But
I see.
again, yeah.
The thing with Logan Hensler this year is that I don't think that the draft after the top 4 is as deep as it was last year. And I think that's why some of those, players dropped a little bit last year, the D especially. That's why I think that Hensler could sneak up in the top 10. I mean, it's early on, but just because of it's not as deep of a draft. And that's the reason why I got him, 9. But, we both have Mr. Jackson Smith at number 10. So, hey, we're on board for Jackson Smith. So, what's your take on Jackson Smith, the smooth skater from Tri-City?
So Jackson Smith, I mean, he was one of my prospects of the week, actually my most recent prospect of the
Oh, okay.
week.
Go check that out on New Wave Hockey,
Yeah,
people.
exactly. Yeah,
Break down his game a bit.
Yeah, I broke down his game a bit. I kind of talked about everything in his game, and the one thing that I really loved the most was the speed. I think he's possibly the fastest defenseman in this draft. He gets the most out of that stride. You're going to see him
Right
here.
here.
He's on the top right there. Poke checks out there. Plays along the wall, gets it going, back to the guy, and look at just the speed there. Oh my goodness. And on like he
Yep.
continues at that pace while backwards skating, which
Well,
was
watch.
really big for me as well.
I got
I
I got a clip of him picking it up behind the net here. Watch this one.
I used this one in my video. Oh
See
my
you
gosh, look
later.
at that. Yeah,
Not bad, eh?
he's gone.
Drops it
Oh
off,
yeah.
and then they get a nice goal there.
And I love that he's just such a threat that he brings guys with him too. I mean, he doesn't have the biggest shot. He's not known for, that offensive, like overpowering shot, even though 6'3", 190, but
Yeah.
takes guys with him. He's enough of a threat. And man, I mean, just love to see it. I'm a big fan of Jackson Smith in terms of on defense as well. I think he gets really gritty on defense. I guess not on this play because he's just taken in transition, starts it and ends it right there. He's still taking it, gets it up to the top, and I think, it's going to be Sloan who scores here. Watch it. Yeah.
Both of us have Jackson Smith at number 10. Let's keep rolling here. You got Lyndon Lakovic at 11. Who do I got? Spence. Okay, so we flip. I got Lakovic at 12, so we can talk about Lakovic now. Lyndon Lakovic.
Yeah, I've liked a lot of Lyndon Lakovic. Again, this is like a pretty early on pick. He's been performing really well. I mean, the CHL prospects game, he really lit it up. He was one of the highlights there. That was his big tournament. And again, this guy, it's all about what you can see in the future. 6'4". He skates really well too. I think he moves better than McQueen sometimes. Here you go. He's playing. Oh, well, they get playing against the Wheat Kings, but here you go. He enter here, floating a little bit, but he'll get it going.
Yeah, right here.
Again, very solid. Love this open ice pass, right on the money, and it just gets things going. And then they score here.
Which one is this here? Yeah.
There you go.
So you know what? Yeah,
It's
he's like a big power forward, good skater. Like you said, I thought at the CHL USA prospect. Look at this. Look at this. Whoa.
Yeah, a little bit perimeter there, but again, he takes it. He's got the shot. He's got the hands too, which I've really loved too.
Yeah.
Again, and this is some two-way play, I believe, or no? Yeah, no, two passes here. Look at that. All right, misses right there. He's gonna get it right back along the wall, and he's gonna make it work right there.
Nice.
He's got soft hands. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love to see it. And like he takes face-offs sometimes. He just plays a lot on the wing. He's a little perimeter for my liking to put in the top 10, but I think there's a lot of potential with Lakovic. I'm a huge fan of just like what he's been doing throughout the year. I mean, again,
big kid, right? I mean, when you got that size and you can skate, and you got some, decent hockey IQ, well, yeah, you're going to get noticed, right? So I agree with you. Yeah, what did I have Linc of Lakovic? I got him at 12, and you had him at 11. So yeah, a little, like I said, these rankings are going to move a lot too. Oh, you got Monsieur Justin Carbonneau at number 12. He's not in the top 16. So let's talk about.
Let's talk about
Get the
Carbo.
clips loaded here. Linc.
I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. I think where you rank Justin Carbonneau is kind of all about like what you value in a prospect, and I value a lot. I think his overall game is fantastic, but when you break it down, when you start from the beginning, and when you just see what he is as a player overall, he is a shooter. And that is what he's going to bring you every single night here. He's going to be on the right here. Is the right shot, number 8. Yeah, there you go. He's going to miss. It's going to be a broken play here. Look how fast he gets this off. Boom.
Yeah.
You don't even see it. He is absolutely he is so fast, so talented. And he's adding a little bit of a two-way game to himself too here. He's going to enter the screen a little bit late. Here you go. Here he goes. Dangles through, and you don't even see the shot.
Wow, yeah, that's
exactly
a nice rip right there. That's a nice
here.
rip. Yeah,
you
know what? I'm a little bit lower on Carbonneau. I just I'm a little bit harder on just shooters. I'll always put passers a little bit higher up in the rankings. That's just my personal preference. And some of his play away from the puck is a little bit, He's got to get a little bit more, defensively aware, I guess you could say. Listen, I like Carbonneau. I don't know if I got him at like 17 or something like that. But I mean, it's one of those things. Again, it's personal preference. Who you like and where you got him. But I see you got him there, and we both got Murka at 13. Oh, another one that we got the same there. So we got Radim Murka, newly acquired from Seattle, at number 13, and so do I. So let's talk about Radim Murka.
Yeah, I'm trying to load the clips here as fast as I can, but again,
I got a clip of him somewhere along the line here. Let me find one from him too.
We could just talk stats of this guy because again, it really just breaks down that he is 6'4", right shot,
6'6".
Wow.
They got him listed at 6'6".
I slipped the tongue there, and I know he's 6'6". I slipped my tongue right there, but
Okay.
The way that he can move for 6'6" as a defenseman.
And
I wouldn't say it's like Anton Salayev because his defensive game needs a bit more work in that aspect, but he is really, really solid. He gets active in the offensive zone. He is great on defending the rush. I mean, Radim Murka is just a physical freak, and it's just how much can a team get out of this guy? I don't know. The sky's really the limit. I'm such a huge fan of him. And him going to Seattle, he has 7 points in 9 games to start the year. Oh my gosh.
Here's a shot from the point number 21 there. Just rips this. Doesn't even look like he put any effort into this thing. Just fires it. Watch this. Boom. It's in.
I think I have that exact same clip.
Do you? Okay. So we're going to pull up a clip for you here.
Yeah, I have one of the clips from the Czech league, and this is him skating on the right here. He's got the puck right now with him. He's just moving along. He gets active in that zone. He'll move down. He'll support the rush. And yeah, and again, that little neutral zone transition, it leads to a goal. All right, and then I got another one here. He is going to be number 21 in this clip again. He's on the left side, all the way at the far board. And just the activation coming into the offensive zone. Yeah, oh my goodness! Here you go.
Boom.
Boom.
He
just takes it to a different level, and you can't stop this guy because again, he's got hands too. He's got a pretty developed skating ability. He's going to find himself in the top 10 soon enough if he keeps this up. I really love his game.
I've seen him on some rankings where he is top 10 now. So I mean, you know what? I think the move to Seattle really helped his rankings for sure. I mean, and you know what? And that's the thing with like the Europeans and Russians and stuff like that is that, how do you address, like, you look at their ice time sometimes, are they getting power play, time and stuff like that. So, and Radim Murka was hurting by being in Czechia. And I mean, and a lot of people had, some high hopes for him. And then when he came over to Seattle and he started doing the things that he's doing. And so, I want to see how Ryabkin reacts when he comes to USHL, because I mean, and I'll be able to go watch him live, so that's going to be a bonus. I'm excited about that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I think that the Murka moving to North America really helped his stock, and as you can see, like he's a big kid, good skater. He's got a little edge to him too, which I like. So yeah, he's both 13 on our list, and you got Carter Bear at 14, and I got Jake O'Brien, but I got Carter Bear at 15. So let's talk about Carter Bear, the machine. You want to talk about motor? You want to talk about intensity? Carter Bear is the kid. Woo!
I in all the clips that I have here, I labeled all of them some form of Carter Bear working very hard, because this guy is just, he has fought tooth and nail to earn this top 15 rating for me. Again,
I want to show the one clip that kind of epitomizes. So it's him walking there right now, gets a shot on net. It goes in the corner. He's going to watch him battle this player. And then he kicks it back to his teammate right here, kicks it, and they end up scoring. And I'm like, that's the epitome of Carter Bear. Just outworking the other player and, and getting a scoring chance. And they scored because of his work along the boards, right? Along the wall. I mean, this is Carter Bear. This is what you get. And got a little offensive touch too.
The work ethic is, again, one of the highest points of the game, and it's something that I will defend and talk about over and over again. He's forced his way into discussions. He was someone that I was like, oh, I'll keep an eye on him, and then he starts scoring more, and then he starts scoring more, and he's earning all of these points. And yes, he's playing with a loaded group in Everett. They're really solid. There's Julius Mietten in there, Landon DuPont, Terrence Smith. Here you go. He starts
Boom.
that he starts that. He gets that puck off the wall and he starts that passing play. Terrence Smith, one of my favorites from last year. Gosh. But I mean, Carter Bear, you cannot put a fault on any of his points because he earns every single point, assist, goal, whatever. He works for it every single night. He's one of the hardest workers in the WHL. And again, he just epitomizes like everything you want to see in just the word effort. And he's a small guy too. And he's standing out this much. I love it.
50 points in 28 games for Carter Bear. We'll put one more clip up of Carter Bear here. Is that him along the wall there?
No, here he was right next to he's right here. He's on the blue line.
Oh, okay,
right there. Got the puck.
Comes in.
He's just gonna forcing it in. Just
that's
shoving the puck in. He's like,
that's Carter Bear. That's Carter Bear. So yeah, we got Carter Bear. So like I said, Linc's got him at 14. I have him at 15, and you have Blake Fiddler at 15, and I got Blake Fiddler at 16. So we're close in a lot of these.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about Jake O'Brien real quick?
Jake O'Brien, yeah. Well, let's do Blake Fiddler because we both got him.
Yeah,
and, I'm gonna pull up a clip of Blake Fiddler right now. The thing with Blake Fiddler is like he's got some confidence with that puck. So you're gonna see him pick it up behind the net right here. And this is what I love about look at that zone exit. Come on. He's got I'm gonna play it again one more time here because I just want to show you. So he's the one, he's gonna enter the zone here. So that's him, last man back. And he look shoulder checks, makes the right move. And then watch this little play right here. Just slows it down and says, all right, I'm going to take you with me and I'm going to dish it off. That's some smart hockey IQ for a defenseman. When you got pressure on you and you're able to, get that zone exit like that, that's what you want from a defenseman, right? Great skater, got some physicality to his game. The offense is not there yet, but
you actually stole one of my clips. I love him in transition. He's fantastic. I mean, and he's 6'4", right shot defenseman here. And then I love the shot.
I have that exact same clip in my last ranking video. Yep.
Oh, Fiddler he epitomizes like exactly what I love about some of the defensemen in the class. Share some traits. I think he's very similar to Keishon Aitchison and some other defensemen too. That like very physical, very solid in transition. But they have a good shot too, and they can be active in the offensive zone. And you see this more with some of these defensemen. I really like how they can become drivers for an offensive group, and we're moving more into this positionless hockey. Everyone talks about it, and Blake Fiddler again, he's driving offense. He's doing the transition all by himself, and then he's taking the shots too, dishing it out sometimes. Again, it's not all there. The skills have to develop, and he's got to better his offensive game, but the confidence to try it. Whew.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. I'm a big fan of Blake Fiddler. I think you and I are probably some of the rare ones that have him in the top 16 because a few comments on my videos are saying, oh yeah, you got Blake Fiddler that high. I was like, yeah, you know what? I think that the potential is there, and he's young too. He's born in July. So I, again, take that into account that's one of my things. I look at their date of birth and how they're progressing, right? And that's all what it is. So you know what? Can he bring that into next year? And say if Blake Fiddler next year pops off offensively, then you got to steal in the draft, right? So my number 14 is Jake O'Brien. Now, he's one where I just look at his progression. He's got what? Let me check the stats here. We got 45 points in 34 games. So I like he's a young one. He's another young one. He's small, skinny in stature, but he's got that offensive flair. A little bit more. He needs a little bit more consistency in his game. And I think that's the one thing that kind of affects him in certain rankings. But I see the potential there, and I've seen him a couple times. Again, you know what? I'm biased with players that I see live. That's one of my things. The NTDP, the OHL, I see a lot of these kids live, and so I get a little biased about that. But look at him right here, come out of the corner, watch this little patience, and he just roofs it. And like I said, assistant captain as a 17-year-old. Yeah, and he still has to fill out. Once he fills out, because he's like 6'2", 6'3", I think. Once he fills out and he gets a little stronger along the wall, that's going to be a hard kid to contain. And so, that's why I got him. I still have him high. I know he's dropped in a few rankings, but I still think there's some potential there. And one of the reasons why I got him in the top 16 for my rankings. All right, now.
Yeah, I gotta say, I want to make a comment on Jake O'Brien. I really like him too. I mean, he's a good guy. I have him a little outside the top 16 and even the top 20. But again, I'm gonna put a vouch for him. He's one of the smartest players in the draft. So again, like I love that you have him in the top 16. I'm a little bit more worried about his ceiling, but again, like I like taking home run hits in a little earlier on, and that is perfectly exemplified with my number 16 pick.
Yes, let me show that, Mr. Bill Zonin.
Yeah, Bill Zanon. I mean, 3 MJHL players in the top 16 for me.
Hey,
I
we
never
haven't
thought I
seen
would.
that in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, this Bill is a home run hitter. I love what he can do, and one of my biggest things. The first thing I ever talk about with Bill, and you're going to see this when he's below the net here. He's number 16. He's being below the net here. Falls down, steals the puck right to the open net right there. Number 16, he was below the net, or number 6, my bad. And again, such a maturity to his game. He's 6'2", and I think he's around 200 pounds, but he plays 15 pounds and 3 inches taller. He plays big. And again, my biggest issue, skating, but he's got the shot. He's got the offensive instincts. I think his passing is one of the best in the draft. This guy is the type of home run swings that GMs love to take around the spot in the draft. He's a guy that I think is going to be favored by some general managers because of what he could potentially bring in the future. Very high potential, in my opinion. There's a lot that he brings to a team, and I think he wears an A for Royan Miranda as well. He's a leader on and off the ice. He leads by example. He's the first guy to hit somebody in a game, and he can play anywhere in that top 9 for them. I really have just been impressed with his game, and he's someone who I'll be watching Justin Carbonneau or Caleb Denoyer, and I'll see them, and they'll be playing Royan Miranda, and it's like there's just this guy bowling over me. I'm like, who is that? And it's Bill Zana, and he's a wrecker, and I'm a big fan of him, and I think he's going to stand the test of time, and he's going to probably land in this top 20 range.
Yeah, you know what? I my only contention with Bill Zonin is his ceiling. Like you said, his skating too is a little bit, and he's an 06. So again, these are all things that I take into consideration. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's in my top 32. I think he's in mid 20s for me. I take a chance on a kid like Jake O'Brien who potentially could have a higher ceiling than Bill Zonin, and that's just the way I see it because O'Brien has great hockey IQ, and once he fills out, right? Because you said Bill Zonin's like 200 pounds, and I think Jake O'Brien's like 165 pounds. So these are the things that I take into consideration. I mean, you know what? Listen, everyone is going to have their own say, and I mean, you know what? That's the nice thing about NHL drafts is that who knows how it's going to go. Every year it changes. Every year everyone thinks they know what they're doing, and it just the doors get blown off. Like last year when Seneca went 3rd overall, that just threw a wrench into everything, right? And I mean, it was talks of Levchinov going 2nd, and he did. I still can't believe that teams passed on Demidov and he slipped to Montreal at 5. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I don't know what's going on right now. And I mean, I get it, the Russian factor and stuff like that. However, our boy Mishkov, I saw him live last week. What a treat! Love it, and he's got grit to his game. Did you see him? He's like swinging sticks at people's heads. Like he's a crazy man. I love him. He's a flyer through and through. Skill, but he's got that edge to him. Like I mean, he's going to get suspended in the near future for sure for just being reckless. But I love that. You know what? And he's skilled. So you know what? Awesome.
He's already become a Philly icon, and I live outside Philadelphia, so I can speak on this. Philadelphia, we need to do a better job of becoming a hockey city. Right now, it's a baseball, football, basketball market. But Michkov, he is leaving his mark, and he's only played like not even 30 games in, and everybody's talking about this guy. I'll be going down to Reading Terminal Market, and I'll see Michkov jerseys, and I'll see Michkov's t-shirts. I'm like, I haven't seen a Flyers jersey in here in years. What's going on? And he's really changing the culture, and that's what a player like that can do. And we talk about this, like teams passed on Demidov. Oh man, I really wanted like a team like Columbus to get Demidov, because I think that would have been the fix to all of their
Rumors had it that they wanted Lidstrom from day one. Like they loved Lidstrom, and they
I
absolutely
get
went
why.
with that pick.
I get why. He was a great player. I mean, though he's dealing with injury. Look.
The injury issues. Yeah, you know what? All right, so this is it for this. But before we leave, so we're going to talk some hockey tonight. We got the Canucks against USA. So, Linc, what's your what do you think? What's the score going to be? Let's get a little crazy here. Let's think about the scoreboard here. What's the final score tonight?
I've been heavily invested in the last couple World Juniors, and again, I will say this is one of the U.S. teams of all time. It's not one of the best, not one of the worst. I don't think we're gonna have a U.S. 2023 incident on us where we have no defense. We have some defense. We just don't have the best defense. It's kind of, we have a thing where we don't have a great defense. Canada doesn't have a great offense. So who is going to prevail? And I think it's going to be close, like all things are. But I think that Trey Augustine is going to find another level, and James Higgins is going to be the star that you guys have had the last 2 years, but we haven't had. So James Higgins is going to take over, and I think the final score will be 4-2 United States on the final day of 2024.
I'm sorry to break it to you, Linc, but that ain't gonna happen. No, listen, I got to give it to the Americans. I think that they have a good chance tonight, but I got to go Carter George in the pipes for Canada. He's been unreal internationally for the last, 4 events. And so I think that he's going to shut the Americans down. That top line of Higgins, Perreault, and Leonard, they're going to get shut down. Canada's coming on top. We're going to go 3-2. That's my say. It's going to be a low scoring affair, but I think that Canada's going to pull it off. We're going to get maybe a lucky bounce, maybe an empty net. I don't know, but we'll say no. It can't be an empty net. It's going to be 3-2. We're going to go 3-2. The Canucks, in Ottawa. Come on, the boys better find the next level, because if they lose in Ottawa on New Year's Eve, then I don't know. I'm going to be really disappointed in that.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Mark, but the Americans know a thing or two about arriving on a team's home arena and giving it to them. I mean, we did this to Sweden last year. I think that they can find another level after an embarrassing, I wouldn't say embarrassing, but a really tough game to Finland yesterday. I think the Americans will pull it out, but it will be close. It will be a close game. I will be pulling on my heartstrings the entire time. The Penn State game is also going on at the same time, and I will not watch a single snap because I will be so invested into this.
I love it.
So, yeah.
I love it. Hey, so yeah, our next show, though, episode 2, we're going to do some World Juniors probably. We're going to talk about the quarterfinal matchups, and then we'll probably do another show right after the World Juniors. So we got a couple coming up, and then after that, during the season or for the rest of the year, into the playoffs, we'll probably do bi-weekly, right? We said, we'll figure it out. And I mean, getting closer to the draft, we'll get a little heavier in the episodes. But man, this is going to be fun, Linc. We're going to talk some hockey, some draft. Hey, you're going to be in Denmark, and it's going to be crazy.
I'm going to be roughly a 30-minute travel from Malmö's rink in Sweden.
That's unreal.
Which is going to be super exciting for me. I tend to go see a lot of Swedish games when I'm over there, but yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we're going to be talking all year. I mean, it's going to be super, super fun. I can't wait to embark on this journey with you, Mark. So
we're going to get some special guests on here too, probably at some point, right? We'll get some people on here. We'll see. There's a few people online that I've connected with, and so you know what? Maybe we'll pick their brain every once in a while, and yeah, we're gonna have fun, bud. And thanks for watching, everyone. And Linc, you want to say something before we take off, or what?
Hey, have a happy New Year and go USA.
Let's go Canada, baby! Come on now. Cheers, everyone. We'll see you soon.